Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 Idaho Board of Commissioners meeting. Call the meeting to order at 9 o'clock. And the first thing we do is approve the agenda. We'll make a motion to discuss and approve the agenda.
Second?
We will have a non-public session at the end of this.
Yes.
And it will be the RSA that protects the reputation of everybody except for the members of this board.
Yes.
In our meetings. Anything else in the agenda that you'd like to add or modify? All in favor of the agenda as changed with the non-public session?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on the agenda. We move to the approval of the minutes of July 8th. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve these minutes. Good morning, Dinah.
Good morning.
Need a second on the minutes discussion?
Second.
Second. Take your choice.
I got glasses.
No.
Discussion.
Thank you.
I have a couple little things.
Okay, great.
I'll go seeing how I.
Yeah, I
pulled
didn't
up
have- I
faster
didn't
than
have
anybody
anything.
exhaled here, so.
Yeah, I didn't.
Under section 3, approval of the manifest.
Yep.
The second manifest is the water.
Okay.
It says that I made a motion to discuss and approve it. There's no vote.
Okay.
In the minutes,
Okay.
and I believe it was 3-0 on that. And under the DPW report,
Mhm.
there's a bullet that talks about the backhoe rear tire. It says
Yeah.
Pete Bond was called for immediate action. It will cost approximately $3,068 to repair. We should probably say that's for
Two tires.
two matching tires.
Yeah.
And I believe they also put the fluid back in, and
Mm.
maybe we had to buy new fluid to put back in.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
didn't scrape it up off the road with the sand in it.
No,
No.
no, he was able to salvage some out of the tire, he pumped out before he did the job and then pumped that
wow.
back in and added.
That's the
to top
beet
it
juice
off.
fluid,
Yes,
and we put it in, they don't put it in, how does that work?
They
no,
put
no,
it-
he
They
put it
put
in,
it
I
in.
mean, we pay for it.
Okay.
So matching tires,
Yeah.
weighting material.
Yeah.
And under correspondence, there was a discussion about adding sand to the beaches. And it says, Nancy says that she recalls DES permits the addition of sand is limited to 10 cubic yards and can only be added every 5 to 6 years. It's 6 years.
6.
So strike the 5, every 5.
Well, she said 5 to 6 years, didn't she?
Yeah, I think I wasn't positive.
Okay, so that's what she said, then they said it should be just 6, because that's what I looked at that. That's what I had anyway.
So the real answer is 6 years.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
So we know that now, okay.
Anything else?
I didn't have anything.
With those adjustments, I ask how you vote to approve the minutes.
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on the minutes. So now at 9:04, we move to approval of the manifest. We have 2 manifests. One is an operations manifest with a value of $69,640.86 for operations. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
Second.
Discussion on the manifest. I have to pull it up here. Let's see. It's usually an Excel spreadsheet.
Yep.
Which I don't see.
So it looks very large to the eye, but the 2 main things are the Rhinoc tank loan and the interest for a total of $60,920, the bond
Yep.
payment.
Which Dinah went to the bank yesterday and did an ACH transfer to, because that's the way the bond bank requires us to pay them. Thank you very much, Dinah, for making that trip, and
It's a
Take-
wire transfer.
Yeah.
I have an EC.
don't use ACH, the term.
What is ACH? Automatic
Automatic
checking
clearinghouse.
from the checking account.
That's usually
So
for
this is really a wire.
direct payment for like payroll. Wire transfer is different.
Yeah,
It costs $25.
There are, so that's a big part of it, it was 60,000 plus for that out of the
Mhm.
69, and we're paying for supplies, reimbursing you for stuff you bought at Walmart for the office. We got our annual fix of Blue Def, our monthly fix of Blue Def. And we paid lighting bills for both the water system and for general government. Street lighting is about
Correct.
$100, $101.
mhm,
Lighting for the mailboxes and what else is there? Is the buildings themselves. We paid the Rhineac tank loan, which we just discussed.
mhm.
And Paris Farmers, we got the coupling collars for the culvert that you extended on 57 Idlewives Drive
Yep, there was that one, and then one off
to
of Adel.
fix that road hazard that
After
developed
Vale,
there.
yep.
We're reimbursing Woodruff for buying a bracket for a new monitor that's mounted in the office soon. Any other highlights you'd like to discuss with this
Yeah.
manifest?
No, that was,
All in favor of approving this manifest for $69,640.80, say aye.
aye,
3-0 on approving that manifest. Now at 9:06, we move to the water manifest of $4,211.02.
mhm,
I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
second,
Discussion.
pretty straightforward.
Electric bills and expenses for the water system, reimbursing to the operating budget for paying the
Correct.
bill.
Yeah,
And that was pieces that the water operator bought in anticipation of the Bergdorf project and a hookup. Any other discussion on this manifest? All in favor of approving this manifest?
Aye,
Aye.
3-0. And at 9:07, we'll begin our DPW report. Good morning, Jeff.
Hello. So yeah, we're just trying to continue doing the ditching on Appin Vale as we can. We did have to, they did a water hookup on Burn last week that we had to go and, backfill for them a little bit with some sand and bring some gravel to top off the road.
When did that happen?
It was one day last week on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not positive exact day. But
I think it was Wednesday.
yeah, I know they were gonna try to dig on Bergdorf, but I think that was Friday during the rain, or maybe that was Thursday during the rain. So they-
Yeah, so that might
Shut out on
be
that.
extending, yeah,
Yeah, so they didn't, they
with that
didn't open it
valve
up.
sticking up that I got a call on.
That's
So,
not there. I
it
did see
isn't.
that. That's
Yes.
their blow off that must have got hit. There's a shut off and a blow off there for the system on Bergdorf it's a PVC pipe that comes out and then the valve is there and they use that as a blow off, and I'll make Ian aware that pipe broke off of
Oh,
there.
boy,
So they'll just have to glue a new piece on or
I
something.
see,
But yeah, somebody called about that. That's all
Mhm.
that is.
okay,
Those rocks on the ditch line there, they're still in there. Nobody's picked those up off of 10 Oak. I know you talked with them.
yeah,
Was that a discussion or did they get a letter from us?
they received the
they got a
letter.
letter,
That place is rented. The owner supposedly doesn't know how the rocks are there. But we'll work with the people that are staying at the property to remove them.
And so you know that because they called after they got the
Because
letter?
he called
So the
yesterday.
letter went to the owner, but they rent it and they're
Mhm.
saying they don't know what the renter is doing with rocks in
He
the
absolutely
in that
does
ditch lines.
not, no, he does not,
Sounds like a long-term renter.
yes.
Okay.
I think there might be a further discussion on this that can happen in the non-public session.
yes,
Okay,
So So we got some patch there last week, and we patched some potholes.
I saw that, that's good.
Yeah, we still got some left over in case some new ones arrive, which usually happens. So, haven't heard back from the truck yet, the 2018 that's down the shop, but I'll touch base with them today and see if we're gonna get that back in the next couple of days. And like I said, we're just gonna keep moving forward with the plan, continue to ditch, and,
So there's no ditching yesterday?
no, Tony was off, and I had a few hours. I came in to do some paperwork here. Yuri did some cleaning up around the buildings, and he's been continuing to do that type of work. You can see around building 2 in the salt shed, he's really cleaned up very nice. We got the cleaned up down around the fence down at building 1. We're gonna try to straighten that out a little bit in our off time, and yeah, just staying busy.
What's your ballpark estimate as to what percentage of Appinville has been ditched so far?
Well, I'd say over half of the one side, and the other side's gonna go a little faster. There's been a lot of rocks that have been wing bangers over the years in the banks that we've been digging out of there, and just trying to make it a lot smoother application in the future. But as we're getting moving every day, it goes a little bit better. You know, with the whole process, you know, training the new guy on this procedures and stuff like that, you know, so we keep moving forward and make more progress as we go. You know, it's just all been a learning curve, and we'll tackle it.
Okay, so you and we as together prioritized 3 roads for this summer. And I know these things are going slowly, but once Appinville gets done, in your mind, what's the next highest priority?
Well,
Hutwell or West Bergamo?
probably West Bergamo will go a little faster, because I hate to say it like this, but as time is going by, we're gonna try to concentrate on the major spots that are gonna create issues moving forward to the winter, where water is gonna come out into the road and create ice problems.
Right.
So, yeah, we wanna get those 2 roads as well. But again, then we also wanna focus on other roads that are just spots in roads that are gonna be potential problems for us down the line in coming winter. And on that, I wanna kind of move forward to, between some of these water hookups and some helps that we've done with the water company, and using some of our gravel in other spots and those spots as well, when they're doing some digging, we don't have any gravel left in-house, so I'd like to ask to get some. We could use some 1.5 inch, and we could use some 3/4 gravel to have at the shop, because again, when we don't have these things, and Mother Nature causes her nasty thunderstorms over the weekends, and we need to go repair things, we can't go to the pit and get materials. So by not having anything in-house,
2 loads of 3/4 and a load of 1.5?
well, I mean, that's something. I'd like a little more if we could get a few more, because again, it's only gonna go down on the roads. I mean, you could start to see some washing going on in some spots in some of the roads that are gonna need some addressing as well.
Where you seeing it?
Middle Shore, well, Little Shore coming down to where Middle Shore is, the corner there's some washing going on over there. The Hutwell Hill, there's some washing. There's just sways.
Driveway related?
Some of it's a little bit of both. Some of it is just, you know, the little bit of wear and tear, and the lack of gravel that's on the roads to begin with. So it's kind of all combination of things, as my dad used to like to say. It's always a combination of things.
How many loads?
Well, I'd like to say 2 loads of 1.5 inch, and maybe 5 or 6 loads of 3/4 to get
Wow.
started. I mean, it's all going back on the roads at some point.
Yeah.
whether-
You're not putting that's just to have on hand.
Right. Well, it's gonna be getting spread out there as well. I mean.
Yeah, but what I'm
We
concerned
could
about
get
is
it.
tracking it in the budgeting towards the FEMA stuff. I haven't lost hope altogether about FEMA, so. How about 4 loads of
Okay,
3/4
yeah,
and 2 of 1.5?
okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
3/4 and 2 1.5 inches.
Belmore,
Yeah, so that, I guess, works out a little better with them coming tomorrow, I'm at the meeting here and all that. So yeah, we'll tackle that tomorrow.
So last week I talked to Ray a couple of times, Belmore. As you know, his truck broke down most of the way through his first day. He was supposed to be here for 2 days. The truck limped back to Meredith and he was getting that fixed. I'm not even clear that that truck got fixed. He had a second truck and he named a second driver,
Right.
Billy. Kevin was the guy he had the first day.
Yep.
Billy was bringing his truck and we just got a message to the office that
Yesterday.
there's a problem with that truck.
Yeah, I saw that.
These are enormous trucks that are pretty sophisticated. They
Very
do
sophisticated.
multi-function and evidently there's a computer system somewhere in there that Ray was squawking,
Yeah.
gets them every time, so we are learning the nature of this contractor and his business issue is trying to run these kinds of trucks that
Right.
do amazing things, but evidently break down in the process.
Yeah,
So we're not the only ones.
a lot of buttons. Yeah, right. With the breakdowns, but no, that's it.
So we contracted for 2 days there, and we've gotten maybe 1 full day or 1.5.
I got about 3/4 of a day, maybe.
We got, yeah, I talked to him. He's also built in the transportation charge
That's what I
into the billing. And I was gonna bring it up during my commissioner's report. We can do it now, we have a little bit of time. We cut a check and then we held it cause we needed clarification on the invoice we got
Right.
against what we recorded happened that first day. Does it work for you that when we get the final bill, that we write a second check for the difference of what the first check is covering and send them both checks?
Well, I assume he's gonna bill separately.
All I'm asking is when we get the final invoices, and we know what the total is that we owe them, we already cut a check.
Yeah.
Is it better to void that check and write a new check, or can we take that check and add to it a second check that covers the grand total that we
You
owe?
work it however you wanna do it. It
Do a
doesn't-
second check.
Yeah,
Add to
Yep,
it?
add to it.
Because that would match with the invoicing, I assume.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the combination of the two checks will match what the total is that
Yes.
his new invoice is telling us we owe.
correct,
Yes.
yeah.
And we're gonna try to use them for the 8 hours to get as many culverts as you
Right.
can, and you have enough culverts in your pocket to
I
keep him
believe
busy.
so, yeah. Yeah,
Very good.
but yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
What else is anything you guys wanna talk about?
Okay, the only question I have is, are we taking, are we marking how much gravel or sand you're using
Yes.
when
Yeah.
you're doing a water project so that it gets
Yes.
set to the water?
Yeah, I do have that stuff down. I haven't produced it to the office or anything at this point, but I have that all written down.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
And I
because,
Yeah, so we can
I'll
code
show
it,
that to
correct.
Jim.
yeah, so we can code it to the
Cause I know that.
supplies
me-
for water,
Right, he's-
not DPW.
Correct.
We should have a flat billing for what FEMA calls force, the labor force and the equipment. And we can, so every time they assist with a water hookup, there's a cost of the materials component. And then there's the cost of our guys in our truck, in our backhoe.
Correct.
Not usually the grader, but at least
No.
one of the rams in
Yeah.
the backhoe. So instead of him tracking it to the minute, we have a flat fee that the highway department charges the water system for assisting a water hookup that gets put into the hookup charge for that hookup. Right? The hookup pays for the total cost of the hookup.
Yes.
Which I'm saying is
Yes,
we
that
have a flat
includes,
fee for the highway assisting the water operator and, or whoever the contractor is in doing the hookup.
would it make sense to use the FEMA rate that has already been developed
Yes, for the
for
equipment.
the equipment
And
and
the FEMA
the,
uses
yeah,
our
and the
rate.
guys'
Yeah.
times?
Our fully loaded, we report our fully loaded rate for labor
Right.
to FEMA, which includes their retirement, if they have retirement,
Mhm.
and their health benefits
Yeah.
is all part of the hourly rate. So we
Mhm.
use the FEMA, what I use for FEMA for that. And,
And I think it should be more than just hookups. I think it should be any water work.
well, I
So
wanna
if there's,
I just wanna get the flat rate for, the other ones won't be flat rate.
okay,
This I want a flat rate, so there's not a lot of work between.
Yeah,
On average, how many hours are you involved with helping with a water hookup?
Not many, I mean.
Two?
At the most.
Mm.
You know, maybe not even an hour.
So we'll
Sometimes we
say
could-
one.
You know, sometimes we could be there half an hour, 20 minutes, or, you know, maybe we're there an hour and a half, you know, so it kinda, it all depends how much of the backfilling we're doing.
Can we agree on 1 hour then? I'll figure it out and tell you
Yep.
what the flat fee is that will
yep, I think we
With
can
that
do,
charge the
average.
water system. And then the water system will be booking it against the hookup.
yeah.
And that,
Yep.
that's coming out of the fee for the hookup.
Right.
Should we make that a motion? Because it's kind of.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we charge a 1 hour fully loaded equipment and labor rate to the water hookup.
second,
Can you capture that in a motion that makes sense a week from now?
I'll certainly try.
We're gonna calculate a 1 hour total cost
Yeah.
for labor and equipment to assist in a water hookup, to be charged to the water hookup. Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
aye.
3-0 on that. What else you have, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Any questions for Jeff?
He's got a request for, time. I don't know if you wanna look at it now, so he knows. Unless you wanna look at it next.
The whole
meeting.
week.
Isn't that the usual week that you
Yeah.
take? Yeah, it's just that normal summer week.
I'll make a motion to approve that request for vacation time.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
She's signing it, so she votes
So is
yes.
that-
3-0.
As good as an
I said
aye.
aye.
She did. Yeah,
What else you have while Jeff's here?
me? That
That's
was it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Stay out of the hot, sticky sun
Well, that's,
as much as you can.
Yeah, well, I will enjoy it, that's for sure. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good day.
thank
You
you.
too, Jeff. Talk to you later.
Got it.
So now at 9:23, we'll move to commissioners' reports and see how many we can get done before our scheduled parents may arrive. So I talked about Belmore. I had talked to him last week. You saw correspondence on the Bergdorf project. We had the water operator go and try to figure out by testing the bleeder at the bottom of Aspen where the water main may or may not be on Aspen and Bergdorf, particularly Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read it the way that I read it, it seems like that we can either go up Aspen to an existing water main or down Aspen if he's starting to believe that the bleeder at the bottom of Aspen isn't actually fed by Aspen. It's connected to a pipe that comes down Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna make a motion to discuss and approve having the water project for the Bergdorf main come into the intersection of Aspen where we are now believing there is no water main and turn right and head uphill, connecting to the existing main on Grissom. On Aspen.
Aspen.
On Aspen.
That comes from the intersection with Grissom. That's where the valve is.
Okay.
Okay, that the water main project comes off Bergdorf onto Aspen and turns right and heads uphill and connects to the existing water main, is the way that should say.
That's the shorter distance to hit
Right.
a known
Yep.
main.
That's a change from what we were thinking, is that the water main was at the intersection of Aspen Bergdorf, and we're connecting right there. We now know that it's not there, and if our choice is to go downhill or uphill, I'm saying we go uphill
uphill.
towards the Grissom shut-off valve that's in Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
Second,
That makes sense.
because you made a motion.
Yes,
Aye.
Aye.
3-0, so we'll now write the plan for the contractors to bid on. I'll have to go and measure, and I'll measure to where we know there's a house connected to that water main, and that's where we'll try to connect to it. And this is stretching out way longer
Yeah,
than I wanted it to, but that's because of the lack of documentation on this water system. The sale of the lot through the green space ordinance has taken, the next major step is the property owners that won the bid have, the deed has been recorded with the Carroll County Registry of Deeds last week. And the owners have paid the transfer tax, which is half of what a non-municipality transfer tax rate would be for the transfer.
Huh.
Which I wasn't aware of, and the lady at the Carroll County Registry of Deeds just cut the $300 plus bill for a transaction of $20,100 for that land. It would have been, if it wasn't a municipality involved in the transfer, it would have been over $300 in Carroll County Registry taxes for the transfer. It was a $151. It was $16 to record the deed,
yeah.
and they paid the 73 cents to have it mailed to me, which I'll get to them. The next step for these property owners to fulfill everything in the ordinance is they have to get the lot merged.
Yes.
So the deed we just did has a life of maybe 6 weeks if they get it merged in at the beginning of September, first meeting in September.
Yeah, the planning board
And then
does
that,
that.
the deed we just did all this work for basically is rendered historical.
yeah.
Because
Historical.
now it's merged and now the deed is for the house lot that they have, which
Uh-huh.
just became bigger.
Yeah.
And the taxes on the land will go up a little bit by the value of the lot, which doubled in assessed value during this auction conclusion. So once the lot is merged, which hopefully happens at the beginning of September, then the whole transaction's complete and we did our first green space auction. And that, so we are done with everything that we have to do. The new owners have to get the form filled out with the planning board with Kate upstairs, and they have a fee for applying for the merger, and then that deed, they're gonna create a new deed, and that deed has to get recorded, which will be
Wow.
$16.
Jeez.
From there on, it's their responsibility. We're
Right,
Yes.
right, we're done.
If they don't get it done by December, now the ordinance says
We take it back.
we could take it back. But I think we'll work with them if they desperately
Yeah.
want this to
Yeah.
happen, so
Wow.
They seem pretty
it's gotta
responsible
be,
so far. So
it's gotta be a meteor hitting town hall, I think,
Yeah.
for that not to happen in my forecast. Beaches. I did a little experiment last weekend on Little Beach by bringing a variety of tools down to see what was gonna be the best tool to get the weeds and see how the sand is. And I was surprised to see that the sand is 5 inches deep and very hard packed, wet, which helps it hard pack. So in digging the roots out, there were 2 or 3 different types of weeds. There was a long weed that sends deep roots down, and that had to be taken out with a shovel and comes up with a ball of weeds,
Wow.
like roots like this. And when it's wet, shaking it doesn't get all the sand out. So I piled that stuff up, and I think it's dried on the beach, except it rained. But it's,
Yeah.
after that all dries out, that gets shaken out. Then I raked it. The shorter ones that have short fat blades that are really green on the beach, different type of grass. They have very weak roots and come out with the rake.
Oh,
So I raked that whole area, and now I'm looking at it from the road driving by. It looks like there's a whole new crop of it,
what?
of short stuff. I don't know.
Yike.
I wonder if that whole beach was rototilled, it would take the compacted sand that's down 5 inches. People want us to add more sand. It's a $600 fee to get a permit from the state to truck in the sand. We can't put more than 10 cubic yards every 6 years, and it has to be away from the sidelines and the back line of the lot, and definitely from the water line. When the sand is there, it just needs to be fluffed up. Because that's what they want. They want a softer.
Yeah, that whole
Underfoot.
process too is like 4 to 5 months to get it approved.
Yeah. We had a story on that years ago.
Yeah. So,
I pulled that story, so that we could find some guidance on how we did it last time.
yeah.
And we need to, if we're going to move forward with the permits,
Yeah.
we need to take pictures of where the sand is gonna be, we need to,
Measure.
mark out and measure
Yeah.
from the high water and from the sidelines, and have that marked out and put it down. And last time, only one of the beaches, we did 5 last time, and only one of the beaches actually qualified for 10 cubic yards. The others were limited to 8 or 7 cubic yards. So DES still may limit. So even if we go through the whole process, you still might get a permit that limits beyond, less than the 10 cubic yards that you apply for. So it is quite a process.
Yeah.
So I want to do a little more testing of my theories
Wow.
on the little beach.
Okay.
Not when it's 90 and humid.
Right.
I want to put a shovel into Thusis Beach to see if it's got a similar characteristic or whether that's completely different. The slope of Thusis Beach to the water is more severe than the slope of Little P Beach to the water. And I think Idlewild Beach and Geneva Beach have fairly flat contours and don't lose the sand, and it doesn't build up in the water like these other 2 beaches. The satellite photography of Little Beach shows that the amount of sand that's in the water over the years looks to me bigger than the beach itself.
Wow.
And that's not good, according to the stuff I read from DES.
Right.
I think that we're heading towards perched beaches, and I think we need a little focus group in Idlewild of people that want to pay attention to the beaches, start to form group opinions of the direction we should go. We'll get to the master plan in a minute, but this is part of the master plan for the town of Madison. Idlewild has sections in it, and I think this is part of what has to get a consensus of people's agreement on where we're going.
Yeah. And I think it would make sense that if the ones that are showing more sand in the water would be the ones we would focus on towards perching.
I think the 3 of them are Thusis, Pard Shore Beach, and Little Beach, Boulder Beach. And then we'd have to discuss whether it's both sides or not.
Right.
Whether one of them is a beach and one of them is a park. Or, not fully sand all over the road.
Oh.
Because one of them actually has this little miniature ravine
Yes, with rocks and stuff in it.
that the storm water flows
Yeah.
down the ravine during a rain. Anyway, so that's where I am with sand. Now, I think it was last year, we met with Doug, who was looking in a representative from Eversource on the lighting on Idlewild Beach as a result of one of the residents that lives across the road talking about negative activity that happens in that parking lot and how they wish they could see into it from the house because the low trees have a wall of leaves that block anybody from seeing what's happening at night in the parking lot, and also blocks the light from the street light. The street light had been out so we voted to get Eversource to get that light back on, and it has been back on. We talked about removing trees to see if that lets more light in, at the same time lets those concerned residents track what's happening in the parking lot at night, because they're going over there and cleaning it up the next day, and have been for years. So, I took some tools down and started to cut the low stuff away to see what that does. In the corner where the street light is, opened up amazingly without taking down any of the trees, by removing all the low stuff that had leaves that made a solid wall of a
Nice.
blind out of it. So I'd like to get down there at night and see what that does. I'd like to contact the people across the street that wrote us last year and see what they think of how that looks and what they would recommend we do with the bigger stuff. There are a couple of nice looking little birch trees that have maybe 5-inch trunks that could be left there as an aesthetic, but it depends on whether the canopy is blocking a lot of the street light, whether we want that much street light to get into that area. And that I'd take the neighbor's advice on that, and we could get down there, we could have an adjourn a meeting to some night to go down there. You'd have to drink coffee and stay up.
Well, what
I
time
could
at
do
night are you
that.
talking about?
Could be,
9,
well, if it's in
10,
the summertime,
yeah.
it's after 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, wow.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that, because I saw you on Saturday working on that, we were looking up, and I'm thinking, some of those newer growth trees that are non-birches look like we could take down, but the ones that are close to the road would require a professional company.
Yeah, it's a matter of seeing with the little that I already did, a couple
Yeah.
hours,
Right.
whether that was a big positive or says this is the right direction. It's really what the canopy is doing.
Yeah,
Right.
So maybe we could actually have the people across the street meet with us at the time we go and look at this at night.
Yeah, if they'd be available, that'd be great.
well, the first easy thing to do is just, what kind of illumination does that area of the parking lot get from what you've done so far?
Right.
But what it looks like on the other side from where those, the resident is a different question.
I think I like the idea that we do it in stages, and we stop when the cutting suffices. That we don't just nuke that whole area and say this was way too much,
Yeah.
or way too expensive, right? And
Yeah.
So, that's that report, and the master plan for the town of Madison.
Okay, you wanna move on to the master plan?
Well, I'm doing my commissioner's report. It's also under old business.
Correct.
The steering committee for the master plan has a flyer that's been framed and put into this, where there's a survey online on the town's website to have the citizens answer questions that would let the planning board know what the direction is, that the town would like to take over the next 10 years. The master plan was done in 2002, and I was chairman of the planning board at the time. It got updated in 2010, but it hasn't been touched, and it's overdue now that it's 2022.
So should we do the survey?
Everybody should do the survey,
So you're recommending that this,
yeah.
yeah.
And then, so the discussion is, why don't we pause, we'll go back to this, because it's after 9:30 and John is here with his scheduled appearance.
Okay,
So we'll hold off on that discussion of the master plan.
Okay.
Go back to the commissioner's report.
Yep.
Good morning, John.
Oh, come on, you didn't have to do that for me, thank you. Good morning, want to come up front or am I good here?
It's up to you. The microphone's there, maybe it's better for you to move up. So, if you remember John from last year, John did a project on Class 6 Thusis.
Yes.
And he also owns the lot that's 2 lots up on the beginning of Adelboden at that end from Thusis, where it intersects with Adelboden. And we have issues with construction that happened up there and trees that were left and so forth, so We contacted you last year about having a permit to put that driveway in. And I think if we reviewed the correspondence from you, you said you were gonna take care of that shortly. And we never saw an application for a driveway permit.
So in the application, it states that you need a septic design. And I retained Amanusic to create said septic design. He was doing site work, survey work, to make that happen. And and they're busy, so it took longer than I would have liked. And then also, I just kind of needed a break, because I was up in there for so long with the other build and the road work. So it unfortunately got unwillingly paused. And the reason it paused from Amanusic, aside from it taking an extended amount of time for them to be available to do the work, what he needs me to do is, the lot obviously was clear to the trees and there's a bit of a banking. He wants me to move some material to one corner to build out. Because there was so much big rocks there, it brought it down a little lower than he would like to have seen. So that put a pause on the final design plan on paper for him to have ready to me to submit what you need to do the driveway permit. I haven't done a driveway. Yes, there's an access that was used to cut down trees. The driveway has been since, there's 2 stakes with a flag that'll show, it's a little higher up, so it takes it to the proper, right now as you see it, it's not the driveway, but it was used for the machine to go in and out, and that makes the driveway at a higher pitch than the road. But the proposed driveway position makes it so you have the right transition from driveway to road, so there'd be less
So you can't do any of this until you give us a permit, application for a permit.
But the conundrum I have is, unless
That you
you
have.
waive,
Let's emphasize you have it.
okay,
It's
whatever.
not our
I also
problem.
don't have to do anything, I can just leave the piece of land and let it grow back in.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second too then.
Okay, I mean,
That's
Well,
your land.
that's-
What happened to our road is
the
different
road that
from what
was
you do
there,
with
the
your
road
land.
looks the same as the way I left it, number one. It's the same material as the way I left it, as far as the gravel.
It's the way you left it.
Okay, so, back to what I'm trying to illustrate in regards to my conundrum of, I want to present an application, but in the application it says I need a septic design, but the septic designer wants me to do a little more work, so I don't mind doing an application, but I don't have a septic design.
I've never
And
heard
what
of a
I'd like-
septic designer saying you have to do this work on the
Yeah.
land before I do a design. He does a
I don't
design
either.
and tells you what the land's gonna look like.
Yeah, well, it's more,
You're making this our problem and we're not into
I-
having you give us your problem.
I'm just telling you why I don't have so if I can present a driveway permit without the septic design to comply with,
It doesn't comply.
okay, then I don't know where to go with it from here. I mean, aside from going there to put material where he wanted it, then he'll be able to finish and I can submit a driveway permit. It's like a day work.
However
Do you
you
have any-
resolve your
Sorry.
design, that's up to you. But
Sure.
we're going to be discussing this with our attorney because we see a severe violation of our ordinances. And that road is in a situation that's threatening Class 5 road. Because you
Well,
put,
that road-
you said you built an access for loggers, but you put a culvert in. And your culvert doesn't work. There's a pond on the high side of that culvert that threatens the whole road system. You put swales across our Class 6 road, which we don't think you can legally
That
do.
swale was there. I that swell was there from the washout.
I know that road
And
very well.
I know you do, and I tried to just get it through the winter. If you want me to fill that back in, I don't mind doing that. That's a minor swale that.
We have to make sure that nobody can do what you've done again. And we're going to invest money with the attorney.
Well, it's up to you, I mean, like, I've improved the road, it was in really bad shape prior to. It was washed
You did
out,
not,
there was
my
tar.
opinion is you did not improve that road. You made it a hazard for us.
No, that's your opinion.
And we'll see who gets to decide what the truth is there.
Sure. I mean, I don't know where you want, whatever, there's no reason to, like, I can resolve this if we work together.
We
We've
thought
worked
this was gonna
together.
get resolved last year by your communications.
I can't
You aren't
control
even telling us when you're gonna resolve this. You're telling us it's a problem that you have with your contractor. I don't even believe the story of a septic designer saying you have to change the land before they do the
You're
design.
welcome to- I can have them draft a letter to present what the exact info, I don't care if you believe the story.
So our issues are the way that you made that, changed the drainage in that road in a major way. The logs that you left, junk logs that you left clearing your lot, that you moved onto our property on the other side of the road.
Yeah,
You have no
okay,
right to do that.
Yeah, that, I agree, yeah, that should have been taken care of.
So you see, you created several problems that we've tried to talk to you. We have a paper log of corresponding
Sure,
with
same
you.
log, we communicated, and
so
I gave you.
We're not gonna let
accurate
this happen.
information. Okay, so, I mean, it's easy resolved. Obviously I should take care of the brush and, when you say logs, they're all like small diameter, but I can
Those
move
are
that.
logs.
If that's all right, I have permission to do that, right, get that out of there.
We want you to get that
Yeah,
out.
okay, good. As far as, well, it's my property, I don't see it as an issue, but I'm gonna bring a machine there, call it a day's work to comply with what the survey is looking for, so I can get that completed. Any issues with that? I
As
mean,
long
it's
as you
my
don't
land,
damage
so-
what, we have had to go in there to make sure that our road didn't get damaged, the class 6 road for the house that you built, and that leads drainage into the class 5 of the corner of Thusis and Appinville.
Mhm. That was all inspected when we completed.
The drainage
it
you
a
did,
year and a half
you
ago.
did a ditch on the inside for the output of the culvert that you installed without anybody's permission, without a driveway permit. You're telling us you didn't even do a driveway, actually. And we have that on
The
record.
culvert
now.
was because
So listen to
of
me, you put a
the
ditch
rain.
down,
Sure, go ahead.
down the lot side of that road that goes to nowhere.
No, go ahead.
It goes to the intersection of the class 6 Adelboden and Thusis. That's
That
not,
ditch was there, I only cleaned it out.
that's not true.
Okay, whatever.
That's not true.
Built
There's a metal
originally
culvert
many
there
years ago.
that we've had our highway department go and open up to protect that whole scene.
That was rusted.
While we're trying to get-
Crushed in, and it got replaced.
That's operational now.
Yes, it looks like you replaced it. That had nothing to do with me, that was pre-existing.
You may not be talking about the same culvert that we unburied.
Okay, maybe not.
So we have gone in to do some work at our expense as a result of what you've done
Again, that
to
culvert, I
protect
know
our,
which
you
one
can keep
mean.
interrupting me and we can stop this. Because
Go
we're
ahead.
ready,
Yeah,
we're ready to
you're
go.
talking.
We're gonna
You're-
start
you're
spending
talking.
money on this.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting, your floor.
So we've tried to protect the road, we've already invested having our guys go and do the minimum amount without actually maintaining a class 6 road because we can't do that, but we can protect our class 5 roads by making sure the drainage works. I'm bringing this up so that you know that that's what we had to do, and I don't want to see you reverse any of the investment we made in trying to protect it when you're bringing machines in to now continue to work on your lot, because you asked me, is it okay for you to bring machines onto your lot? The answer is yes, but do not change anything, do not corrupt the drainage as it's fairly working now, but it has to be changed in a major way. If in your application for the driveway, if you ever do get it to us, there's a box on there that says whether you think you're going to request a water hookup for that lot. Part of why we want to talk to you today is that we want to set your expectations is if you do think that you want to connect that lot someday to the water system, you already know that you'll be paying for the water line extension. I can assure you that all your previous experiences on how that happened will not be anything the way that it happens this time. And the definition of how that road will be left after that water main goes in will not be any way near what you experienced when you did class 6 deuces to get to the house that you've already built. That road will be spec'd before the water main goes in. So this is free advice for you. I'm painting this so that your expectations, if you're making business decisions on what you're going to do,
Sure.
if you are planning on a water main going to your new lot development, don't base that on anything you experienced because of the last Board of Commissioners and the way they completely mismanaged that, which ended up costing the village more money. This board voted to cut the costs that you were obligated to pay as a result of the poor management that was done in the past. Don't expect that management going forward.
I mean, okay, I'm listening.
So it's gonna be a bigger price tag, is what I'm telling you, because of the road. The way the road's gonna be
Do
left
you
at.
have specifications for the what you would expect it to look like?
We have specifications for class 5 roads, yes.
I mean, have they been changed from the previous information on your websites prior to today? I guess I'm asking if it's changed. Well, you're saying it has.
I'm not saying it has. I'm thinking about your question and saying by the time you get to do it, I can't guarantee that they won't change.
Sure.
So whatever they are at the time that you apply for the water hookup is gonna be what you should build into your business plan of bringing water to that lot. I'm just telling you now, don't think it's gonna happen the way that you experienced last year.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Yeah, so the information is on your website and in the application.
The current
What-
road specs are on the website, I
Okay,
believe.
that's what I was trying to ask, thank you. So I'll review them and see what they are today.
Have you been to that area?
I was there, yeah.
Have you seen the work that our crew is doing on class 5 Appinville?
No, I didn't go to Appinville, I mean, I came in through.
It'll give you an idea of what the spec road is gonna look like.
What address around is that?
Just go to
Just
the
come in
corner that
Appinville.
you're very familiar with and take a look at what they're doing to Thusis and Appinville.
Oh, okay.
And
I wasn't there when
that
I
should
was
set
there.
your expectations of, which will be
Yeah, it
completely,
looked the same when I was there recently. Meaning from the way I saw it
last year?
Yeah.
You haven't been there within the last week or so.
It was a week ago.
It looks very much different.
Okay, I'll check it out on the way out, actually, in case, yeah, there was no trucks, no work being done. The culvert, there was a culvert in Thusis Road, no, sorry, Adelboden, that was replaced, and when I say culvert, I mean like the drainage pipe that crossed the road. That was a old rusted, 70 years ago probably installed.
I think you're talking, now you're making me think when I'm saying you should look to see what they're doing on Appinville Way.
Yeah, you
To
mean
say-
down below, I understand.
Yes, off the class 6 altogether.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything to spec on the class 6 stuff. It's all the class 5 road
Mm.
that I suggest you look at for your expectations of what you should expect Adelboden to have to look like at the end of any water main installation.
No, I'll look at it today.
And that's without the gravel. This is not finished by far.
It's
This
not
is,
finished, okay.
this is V-ditching by the grader.
Got it. Yep. The culvert that is at that I put in, that was put in, the one meaning at the bottom of the access
Driveway.
to the lot.
Yep.
I did with the intent to, because prior to that, 2 winters ago, we had that major just floods that affected the whole area, never mind that road, but obviously. So I did that with the intent to protect the road, not any other reason, you know. With that said, I know it is it's sort of clogged on either end with dirt, not flowing as good as it should. Do you want me at this time to leave that alone or improve it?
By law, class 6 roads have to be passable by vehicles. I would not drive my vehicle up that road with that swale that's cut. So you have a culvert that doesn't pass water down a ditch line that you created. It forms a
Sufficient.
pond that is as large as an area from the edge of this table to you.
Yeah.
There's a significant amount of water that collects there. That's not good for a road, ever. To have a pond of water elevated on the road that whatever it lets go, it's
Yeah.
gonna do a lot of force damage.
Yeah. And that, yeah, go ahead.
That culvert should let water through. It should go down and go through the metal culvert that our
That's-
crew has now got operational to bring all the water from that side of the road. It should go over to the other side of the road before it gets to the intersection of Thusis and Edelboden.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
I agree, so.
otherwise that's just a disaster waiting to happen at that intersection.
So, I guess my question is, to improve it, is that something you wanna wait until we've gone through the application, or is that something you want addressed sooner? To make that better?
That's our dilemma. That's where we need to start spending money on an attorney, because we didn't create this problem. And if it requires an engineer to say, what is it that we do to reduce the liability of the way that it's currently left, I'm not sure I wanna answer that.
Okay. I mean, obviously, this was woods and barely a walking path, and I'm only trying to help and improve things. And I've always tried with the intent of doing it, and at the time, per the board at that time. And,
For some reason, contractors think they can do whatever they wanna do on our Class 6 roads. And we are making the point here that that's stopping. That you can't call it a path through the woods. Contractors, because they're in the woods, because they're Class 6 roads, are not being seen. Therefore, I think it's human nature, particularly of a contractor, to think that they can do whatever they want. Like leave logs on the edge of our roads. You wouldn't want me to come over and leave logs on the edge of any of your properties, or on your property, without even asking you. You wouldn't want that. No one would want that. Yet, we're here telling you, get your logs off our property. And we're telling you that's a Class 6 road. There are laws about it. The corporation of the Village District of Idlewild owns that. All the taxpayers are shareholders in that deeded property. The road is deeded to us. And our job is to protect the interests of the village. So we're stopping that. And we've experienced trying to communicate with you last year and hearing your story today and why it hasn't happened. And none of that is our concern. Our concern is the road and having contractors do the right thing from the very beginning. Not after they've put an access in and tried to get a surveyor to do a design. That's not our problem. We did not create the situation that's on that Class 6 road. We're gonna fix that Class 6 road by the means that our attorney tells us to, and not have the expense go to the taxpayers if at all possible, and make sure that everybody gets the word out that if you start to do anything on a Class 6 road, Idlewild is gonna be there. And you have to do it according to state law and our regulations. And that's today's communication.
okay, I'm hearing it, and again, like I said, I always came to meetings and tried to follow the direction I was given, and that's what I've done.
Today's not the first date that we have for you to appear and talk to us.
Uh,
So you haven't always
Yes, it
come to our
is.
meetings.
No, this is the only date that was communicated that we both agreed on. Just because you sent me a date that was a week before the day of the meeting, I wasn't available, doesn't mean we had a schedule. This is the first time we've communicated.
So these
and
kinds
approved.
of discussions don't advance the ball. You
Well, I'm
asked
just
us for,
correcting
you
you.
asked us for a
Apologize.
date. We asked you to come, you asked us for a date, we gave you a date. You couldn't come and we didn't hear. So, we're not doing that anymore.
Oh,
So you understand that you do not have a driveway application into us. For whatever reason, between you and any contractor that that is not the issue for the Village District of Idlewild. You have begun to access that lot, you've changed the Class 6 road, you didn't have permission, you have logs on our property, and that's where we're leaving today. We've communicated that to you. And that's all we can do today.
I'll get the logs out of there, absolutely. Is there anything else?
It's up to you as to when you tell us whether you're gonna put a water main in on that road. I don't need to hear it today because
Yeah,
you may
no,
not know in
yeah.
today's market when you're gonna do anything
Yeah,
with that lot.
Yeah,
Right.
But we can't have that road stay in that circumstance until the market encourages you to start doing something with that. We're gonna make you do it before, as soon as possible, actually.
um, yeah, let's communicate. I don't know what else to say to it. I don't have any dates.
So if I'm understanding you, you're going to fix the swale. I'm not sure when you're going to fix the swale.
What do you consider the swale? I don't.
The swale is above your culvert where you've dug a ditch right across the middle of the road that prevents any vehicle from easily driving up that road.
Got it, yes. Yes.
You're going to get rid of the
By
ponding
fixing
that
it,
happens
you
at the
filled
beginning
it.
of the culvert.
Because that road's not accessible, well, it doesn't matter. You want that filled in, that,
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
you have no right to change the surface of that road in any way.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't do it on my own accord. I met with your road agent and that was what was
Doesn't matter to
discussed.
me.
Okay, no.
There's no record of that.
He was on site and.
So if you're listening to what the expectations are, is that I think you have said that you're going to remove that swale and make that road passable. You're going to solve the ponding problem that's happening at the high end of your culvert. And you're not gonna damage any of the drainage that works, that gets the water from your side of the road to the other side of the road before it gets
Yeah,
to the
there's
intersection.
no reason to touch that. That's correct.
Those are the three things that you could do.
Okay, yeah, we'll be on that first week of August if that's acceptable. To physically take care of that.
I don't know
And
when
the
the
logs
big,
can move faster.
I don't know when the big rainstorm happens.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to
You
communicate.
have us susceptible to the
expectation.
next big storm. And you've had us in that position since you did it. So, it's up to you whether you wanna run the risk of getting it to August 1st, or there's more damage that we'll be talking to you about that's your responsibility. Up to you.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Those are the three items I'll take care of.
Any other questions?
And there is no other questions at this time. The rest, once I can take care of those items, I can move forward with the surveyor and application.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Very good.
So, at, what time do we have now?
It's 10:03.
At 10:03, we'll go back to the commissioner's report. We were talking about the master plan.
Yeah.
So, I sent you what we got as the steering committee members in May. That was the request for One Small Vision, I think was the name of it. I forget what the name of that was. There's a form that they wanted the members of the steering committee and department members to fill out. I'm looking at this and know how much time you guys are putting into all of the issues with the village. And I'm trying to figure out whether you have any time to put into the itemized version of the town's master plan.
Definitely.
You have time?
Yeah,
So I'd
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna make time, cause
Yeah.
there's things that, the master plan will set the future expectations of zoning. And, which, of course, we know, the legislature just changed and overrode some zoning. So that is always a potential. But there are things that I think we need to make sure properly say what Edelweiss wants to have happen in the town moving forward. You know, one of the things we've talked about a couple of times is camping. So I'd like to see the master plan say that there's no camping on a lot unless there is a certificate of
Occupancy?
occupancy. Nobody wants to stop a kid or grandkids from camping in the backyard of grandma's, you know? Nobody wants to stop that. But when there's no services, there's a vacant lot, people are having fires, police have been involved, fire department has been involved, it damages and potentially can, if something gets out of control, you could, you know, they have no water, they have no, you know, I mean, it's just not good. So those are things that, you know, I think that we should look at and maybe even do a general questionnaire amongst Edelweiss residents
I think we should definitely
to
do that.
say, what do they wanna see now that we'll have the opportunity to alter the current master plan and change things to the way we wanna see Edelweiss move forward.
So Nancy is gonna make time. How do you feel about it?
Sure, no problem. Where do I find the, I saw a questionnaire
That's
when we were
the
up
general.
last week. That was a general, but it was like only a 6-page questionnaire or something. What are we talking about here that,
Wasn't that the general questionnaire?
Did you see it on the Madison website?
no, that's where I go to find it?
Yes.
Okay.
On the homepage of of the Madison website, it has
Yeah.
the link to the survey.
That's,
Takes, I think you should expect to take about 20 minutes to do it
well, I think that's the same one I picked up.
without
last-
thinking. If you're gonna think about things, it might take.
When we notarized that document last week, there was something there. I picked up a piece of paper. I think
Ah,
think
I
that
didn't
was the
see you
same
do
one.
that. That might have been it. Because they're supposed to have hard copies here, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're gonna have to make that an agenda item so that we move on this thing. The goal is that we have our sections done. Right now, the stake in the sand has moved to October of this year. The master plan won't be finished until 2026. I suggest you, if you have time, to go on to I'll send you the link to see the 2002 master plan. And I'll caution you that the front page of the document online that you'll see says 2002 master plan. But it was revised in sections in 2010. And it can get confusing if you don't know that, because the 2002 master plan starts talking about things that happened in 2009. And you say, how did they know? But on the bottom of a lot of pages, it will say amended in 2010. That's how you're gonna know that that section was amended in 2010, is not part of what the original master plan said. But a lot of the Edelweiss stuff was not amended. So if you wanna go look at the master plan and find the sections that are labeled Edelweiss, you can do that. If you wanna read the whole master plan and see how conservative the town was, how the town didn't want really anything to change, which I'm okay with. It's been good. I think it's been great. But that doesn't mean the current residents are of the same mindset
Right.
of the people in 2002.
So what's the October date for?
October is
When they
the,
collect all the data? for the
when we
survey?
should have a draft of the Edelweiss section to go
Okay.
into the master plan.
All right.
So I'll send you the link so you can look at the master plan, and then we'll have our first discussion. I'm thinking that if you like the idea of a survey of the Edelweiss people for our section, then I think that we should probably have a little meeting with the EPOA to not turn it over to them, but have them part of the commissioner's effort to have a survey for the master plan.
Yeah, because they got active involvement, and I'm sure they would want some,
Right,
put their feedback in.
yes. And,
If it's nothing more than the board giving us feedback, and then they could participate in having more Edelweiss residents answer a survey question as a result of encouraging their membership to answer the questions. It's kind of like But without laying it all out, let's start with an open discussion with them, and they might have ideas right away on how to do this.
Right.
That we might not.
Nice.
So, if we're gonna proceed with this, two things is that you guys read the current master plan, and that we invite the EPOA to meet with us at their earliest convenience to discuss the master plan.
At a meeting?
At a meeting,
Yes.
yeah. At their earliest convenience. They don't have to drop everything and get here next week, but whenever.
Okay, so what would you expect of them to have? Review the master plan from and have ideas? I
We're gonna
mean,
read the current
how do you
master
want
plan.
them to prepare?
We can
Wanna have
fit-
them, ask them to read it first?
I would,
Yeah, at least review the Idlewise section
yeah.
of the master plan. See if there might be some things that pop out immediately to some people as to this should get changed, or we don't actually do it that way.
Yeah.
So we need to have it listed the way we actually do it, things
Yeah.
of that nature.
All right.
Enough on the master plan for today?
Yeah.
And the other note I have in my commissioner's report is signs. I saw the drafts that Nancy sent to the office for new road signs.
Uh-huh.
And Build Sign has a 40% off sale going now.
Yes, I noticed that.
That always happens is right as we're beginning to talk about a new batch of signs, they're already in the middle of the sale to put pressure on me to
Yeah.
get an order in. And so I guess we approved this text because we already sent it to the chief of police to have him review it, and he's fine with the text.
He changed, unregistered vehicles prohibited is the new wording.
Yes.
So I think last week I mentioned the idea of us having a working session at the office, which would be a public meeting, but we wouldn't be doing public comments or have an agenda other than working on getting this sign design done in front of the computer so that we could have Build the Sign start making them.
Yeah, and I think the Hotwell one, can be doesn't have to be a huge sign that nobody's gonna be reading it as they're driving past.
Correct.
So it would be about the same size as the old signs that were there. And we would want one on the bus shop,
Yeah, building.
building and on the post on the other side, right where they were. And that would be the one that outlines the use of the Hotwell parking lot. The no parking on any road.
Yeah.
That we might need to see how we wanna word it, because this is gonna be big for anyone to try to read.
Right. But
And
again,
this is the one that people would have to
Yeah.
be able to read as
I
they
think
drive
it should
by.
be split, because the bottom portion pertains to specifically Portage Shore Drive, right?
So we should do all this in front of the computer where
Yeah.
you're looking at the sign.
Yeah, we
blank.
can
Okay,
see what it looks like.
So when do we think we wanna,
What works for you guys?
I'm pretty tight this week, but I'm pretty open next week.
How long does this 40% off thing go on for? Like just a week or what? Do you know?
It changes.
Oh, it does.
I think it's all driven by their website. Their website, they have algorithms look at the orders that
Yeah,
are
how
coming
often
through.
you're
And
looking at,
they
yeah.
probably have a computer system that automatically puts a sale on when they see
Probably.
the orders are down and they want
Wow.
to get it back up.
Okay,
I think they also look to see if I have design signs
Yeah.
and have them saved on their website,
Right,
and they
just
don't
'cause
see
you're
me
poking
ordering the
around.
sign.
I know,
And they might say,
that's true,
how about if we knocked another 20%
That
off, we
happens.
order it now?
yeah,
So if it doesn't, I would say, we can do this so that if you can't do anything this week, that Nancy and I start it, send you copies of the drafts, and you can say whether you have any issue with it or something to change with it, rather than tie up your time or us delaying it for a time that you can make it to the office and sit there and watch us do it. Anyway, 3 of us in front of the computer probably isn't gonna be so easy to do.
Okay, well,
And if it goes into next week, then if you can make it that, so much the better.
yeah, well, yeah, tomorrow and Thursday is definitely out. Friday is, I can possibly squeeze some time, and next week I'm pretty open.
Friday?
this Friday,
Yeah.
I could do a little time this Friday.
I could do some time this Friday.
okay, what time though?
Right, what time?
I could do any time.
Okay,
I'm gonna say early in the morning.
That's when you start to say, well, not really anytime.
Well, all right. We meet at this meeting at 9, so can we, if we could do like a, our typical 9 to 11 or something, that's.
9 o'clock Friday morning,
okay,
9 a.m.
all right, that's the first, yeah, okay.
off we go. See if the sale's still on by the end of that day.
Oh,
I think it
I'm
says
sure-
it goes through the weekend.
I'm sure it'll be good. Okay, all right, so you covered a portion under old business, so,
Uh-huh.
all right, great,
And I'll stop my commissioner's report right there.
okay.
What do you got, whatever?
My only concern is I saw this message from Department of Environmental Services regarding the uranium system and the fact that we were supposed to have the consultants report to them by July 7th. We've talked to these guys. The guy, was it Mike Unger? He knows we got a good plan, but I guess we're still waiting on Dubois and King on a workable.
Or do we send what Simply Water provided?
We're supposed to review in non-public session the email that Ian says is his total proposal, which wasn't clear to me that it
That
was
was
his
a
actual
proposal,
quote.
right.
Yeah.
So in the non-public session, which seems to be expanding as we meet here, we could discuss the Simply Water proposal for the uranium and make a decision on it.
Okay,
We have stated our goal is to get this thing installed by this fall. And we have not used Muddy Beach still since November 26th.
and it recently passed,
Yeah, it's just to confuse things, it's now
Yes.
passing again, but
Yeah.
that doesn't matter to us, we're leaving it shut off and we're gonna put the uranium system in
Okay.
anyway.
It will fail
Right.
again. Okay, so, but yeah, that was my next thing was what they're gonna want. Simply Water, but also I know that there was a Dubois and King part of the equation too.
Well, Nick basically said that he wanted Ian to go and talk to the vendors and come back with options on the solution, which Ian has done.
so it was a
And
recommendation.
it's really up to us to pick the solution, and that's what Nick is going to be behind.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
yep,
All right, so I can see where this is going in
Yep.
non-public. All right, then that was my biggest concern in reviewing all the emails over the past week.
right,
Was that we've passed their deadline, but maybe we can just contact them and let them ask for an extension. We're just, there's not many of us on staff here.
Are they looking for us to say
Yes.
more than what we could say today, right at this moment?
not really,
Not really. Well, it does, which shall contain the consultant's evaluation of feasible options, cost estimates, identification and justification. They have a bunch of stuff
You
in
could
there.
send them Ian's full, after we go into non-public session, we review this thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
The thing that we're reviewing from Ian is what they need to hear.
true,
And if we make a decision today, so much the better. Now we tell them what our decision is.
Okay,
This is what we're doing. There's no
Right.
doubt about what we're doing.
all right. Okay. So, better late than never, but,
Yeah, I didn't know that they were looking for anything.
well, yeah, we met the first two, especially since we had that video conference with Mike Unger and two other people.
Two hydrologists.
Yeah, but then the July 7th deadline, sort of like, we were so tied up with everything else that this just went whoop over our heads.
Sure
And
did.
but of course, this message only came through yesterday.
Correct.
It's not like we're looking at these every single day. It's okay. They
Yeah.
So
know.
we'll have
It'll be
something,
fine.
we'll have something for you to respond to them
Okay,
today.
okay,
Yeah,
Whatever we decide is what they need
Right.
to hear
Right.
right now.
right. That's all I have.
okay. That,
Okay.
that portion was under the water. So,
Check that off.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Nancy, you're up.
So, we're working on whether or not we're gonna need the beach stand stuff.
Right.
I did pull the file so
Yep.
that we know what we're gonna be up against if we do it. Did the signs, we'll be working on that Friday morning. There was some correspondence about, or I think it's a planning board meeting upcoming about Little Shore.
Oh, there's a hearing?
Yeah,
ZBA hearing?
yeah,
Zoning Board of Adjustment hearing.
yeah. And we got notice of it because we're in a butter
By the road, because of the
by
road?
the road. I looked at it, and it does show, the actual permit shows a stepped beach, so a compliant beach on whatever their plan is. They're gonna
Oh.
make things a little closer to the water than normally is allowed. But I don't see any reason, sometimes there's things that the board would wanna send a letter to the ZBA or have somebody at that meeting to say if we have concerns about what they're doing. But I went through the whole thing and I don't see anything that is concerning for the Idlewice roads, or for that property to do any damage to the ponds. So I just wanted to,
So it's a private perched beach?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's the way it's allowed by DES, is it has to be perched if
Yeah.
you have a private beach. Unlike some of the signs that we've seen realtors putting out about sandy beaches. But this one actually says that it's gonna be properly stepped, so that's good. And the other thing is that I sent around the motion log. Overall, we're doing pretty good. As far as not having a lot of past motions that are still hanging out there. And I did add the October date that we discussed. It wasn't a motion, but I did put in the October date for review of a TAN, if we're gonna
Oh.
do that. So I added that, and that'll stay until October. But we will be getting towards some of the other requirements, which are, yeah, August-ish, certainly due by September 1st. So I don't know if we wanna look at it next week, or if we wanna wait a couple weeks when you wanna do it, but I think we should review the income versus the straight, or next time we look at profit and loss, have the income for water as well as operations, so that we can see where we're at for how many driveway permits we've had, how many, the status of the water stipend,
Yep,
the fee,
Yep.
and that type of stuff. So that's the other thing I had listed out, was that we
Okay.
should look at that, and whether we wanna do it next week or the week after, like, whatever you guys think, when do you think we should do it?
is that part of the cash flow? Should it be part of cash?
It is
Cash
not
flow?
currently.
No.
And I don't know if it needs to be.
What are you talking about?
Income.
income.
I put it on the cash flow.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
okay.
I remember seeing something
So
about
like
it.
when we get driveway permits and stuff, it shows as income?
It,
Okay,
yeah, but we still need to review
but
that
we still
be
need to
sure
see the
it's-
report
It, yeah,
before it, cause DES will be on us, or DRA will be on us in no time saying, hey,
And
you have to,
report income,
you know, do this reporting
yeah.
for the state, you
But
know?
separate from that is the water. So
Yes.
that's a complete different, yeah.
So, do you wanna set it for when we do July's financial reviews, or do we wanna, we still got, yeah, we got next week. Is it okay to do it for next week? That's on your timing.
I really don't know what it is that I mean, I can bring up the calculations of what we received and that's about it. But,
We
Yeah.
have 2 more meetings in July.
Okay. So, we'll, plan on doing it for the 30th? And that'll give me a chance to work with Jen next week
yeah,
to
just to
make
get the
sure that
numbers
everything's,
The 30th is a Wednesday.
correct. It is.
Yeah, but
The
that's
meeting
we-
will be Wednesday.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
meeting on Wednesday, July 30th.
Works for me.
okay,
Yeah. So it's kind of like a cash flow, but just for the water system or everything?
it's everything,
It's gonna be
but it's,
everything.
it's gonna be focusing on income
Income only, okay.
only versus our expenses, which is the normal profit and
Right.
loss.
And so that would include all the water fees we
Yes.
have and have not collected.
Correct.
And do you wanna review that under old business? Like I could put it.
No, it'll be admin.
separate. It
It'll be
was-
admin
okay,
for on the
right.
30th.
Okay, great.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the town of Madison for their timely transfer of the check from the first tax payment to us. The administrators for the town and the selectmen get the thumbs up from me. It didn't cost them anything, but they saved the village district thousands of dollars by just getting that check to us in a timely fashion. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm, yeah.
Yes, and it comes from the board, not just you.
True.
I think we're all appreciative of
Yes.
that, including the treasurer who's
Yeah.
sitting here smiling.
The treasurer's thankful, and thanks to the treasurer for running it around fast
Yes.
and taking care of that.
What do you think, a sigh of relief?
Yes.
We all are.
Always good to have money in the bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easy come, easy go.
Well,
I always say.
to be more detailed, we did not have to do a TAN loan.
Correct.
And the new bank was making it cost a lot more money for us to get a TAN loan than we've ever experienced in the 40-something
It
year.
was a very obtuse process.
And
Saved money.
we went from seeing thousands of dollars that we didn't anticipate in costs to nothing because the town of Madison
Was willing to do that.
shot the check to
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
Okay, so that finishes your report?
Uh-huh.
And so now at 10:28, we move to administrator's report?
Yeah,
Yep.
you wanted to,
Yes,
I don't know if you wanna take this off, like, as part of the,
Non-public?
non-public.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
Okay.
Yes.
all right, fine.
Is that for, that me and the security code?
Yeah.
Oh, so much for being non-public.
Well,
I do that too, though.
Well, I don't know if I need one.
I got some fake security cameras I can sell you.
This was a very, it was
He's referring back to an incident that happened at a previous board.
yes, yes
Wow.
he is.
I'll explain it to you later.
Okay, wow. I love stories.
So we'll hold off on that.
that's a good one.
We'll go
Yep.
to old business and the Aspen Waterline investigation.
What you talked about.
We
Yeah.
talked about.
Yep.
Curb stop lottery winners.
Yes. This goes back to 2007 or 2008. The district held a lottery
I remember that.
for
10?
10 water hookups
Yeah,
people were allowed to put their names in as to whether or not they wanted to get a hookup. There was a moratorium on hookups at the time, which is why they did it by lottery. And we have a project, a lot on Jungfrau.
yeah,
I knew I'd come up with a word, on Jungfrau that is saying that they have a curb stop
they believe it's there.
and they believe it's theirs and that they have documentation or were told by prior owners of the lot that that is their hookup, their water hookup, and they won it in the lottery
Right,
in 2007.
They won the right to
They
pay
won the
for a
right
water
to
hookup.
pay for it.
So, as you explain more is, at that time, the village had to limit the number of water hookups. So they decided that they were going to only allow 10 hookups to control the outrageous growth that was happening at that time. The demand was, the engineer was telling us, your water system isn't gonna take this many
Oh,
hookups
wow.
out at this time. And so at that time, the village voted to limit the number of hookups per year to 10. And they decided, then the dilemma was, who gets the 10? So that's how it became a lottery. It was random choice.
right.
So that did happen. And now is it a matter of the paperwork we have for this particular lot?
We can't find anything
Perfect.
in the file for the lot that says it was a lottery winner and whether or not this is the curb stop that was installed at that point, at that time there. So most of the files, if there's a water hookup that has been done, there's documentation. And this lot does not have that documentation in the file.
So there's no actual physical curb stop?
We don't know that. There
We
is
don't
a
know who
curb
it
stop
belongs
there. We just don't know
Who did it?
who did it or whose it is.
Simply
it's for
Water
this
has no
lot-
info.
Or is it, we don't know.
Yeah,
So again, my question, there is a physical curb stop there,
Yes,
which is hooked up to the water system already.
we don't know.
We don't know that, and we don't know which property it serves.
correct.
So wouldn't the documentation be incumbent upon the property owner?
Which they
prove
come
it,
to the
to prove it?
office looking for
Right,
information, which
Well, but we already
don't
know
have.
that we don't have.
right.
What's the address?
I don't have the physical address with me.
Wood Road?
Young Frau.
Jungfrau. Is that the one near that one that burnt down somewhere? Wasn't there a property that burnt down
I
there?
don't know which end of Jungfrau it's on. I just know it's on
We know
Jungfrau.
where the fire happened, we don't know which end this
This curb stop,
claim is on.
this claim is not, yeah.
Alright, so are they looking to build and attach to this curb stop?
Uh-huh,
Correct.
But they haven't started, do they have a driveway permit?
Yes.
So I need to look at this,
Yes.
look at the records that you have of current ones, where it is.
Yeah.
And go look at the physical layout of it. And,
Well, Simply Water will investigate, however, they need to be paid for it.
right,
right,
that's why I wanna look at it first.
Gotcha.
They're not trying to build next week,
no, they're
there's
not
no
gonna be
house there
building,
now.
right, they're not gonna be building next week and they don't need a hookup in the next month, you
Right,
know?
right.
So we'll see what we have for records and then make a decision on that
Okay,
and go out and look at it too to see
Okay,
where this is and where the property lines are. Cause worst case, 2 lots claim that they own that curb stop from what
we
we
don't know.
hear
Right.
right at this table right now, you
Yeah.
know.
correct, we don't know.
We don't
And I
know.
would say to you, do you have the documentation on your curb stop that, when that was installed?
No, no,
See?
but,
No one-
but,
no
see-
one does.
but since it's hooked up to the house, you know, it's a, what do they say, ownership is, or what's that old saying? It's 9/10 of the law?
You've had equipment recently at your house?
Equipment,
I'm
yes.
kidding you. You installed it last week. Alright, so, we'll
Yes.
take care of that. On to the
Sure.
next issue.
Okay? We already talked about that?
We're doing the
Old
old
business,
business, where road and parking signs, we have a plan for that
Yep.
Friday. Driveway application, 47 Hotwell.
No application,
No
there is no application for a paved driveway at this
Oh, the
location.
paving of it.
Correct?
And the highway department looks at it and has issues with it. So.
Well, they, last meeting, they wanted you guys to take a look at it as well.
After the rain,
After the rain,
because they saw damage
They
to the
did.
road.
correct.
I have not been down there yet.
No, I have not either, but, if nothing else, he's getting a letter for paving without an application, and, we'll look at the driveway permit.
Nancy makes
Because
a
I bu-
motion to send a letter to the property owner saying there's,
Paving,
we have no
Yeah,
application to allow you to pave this.
Correct.
right,
So I'll second that motion.
Okay,
Any further discussion on that? That doesn't need us to go, we can go down and look at it in parallel, but the letter can start to go out
right.
to be signed next week, I guess.
sure,
Any other discussion on that letter? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on sending a letter to 47 Hotwell for modifying the driveway without a permit.
yep,
And then we'll look to see that it has no negative grade and is damaging the road again.
Is this the,
Well,
is the house that's
it-
built
Same
way up on
one.
the?
Same
Yeah,
one that
it's the same
damaged,
house.
damaged the
Oh,
property
Mayo?
on the other side of the road. Yeah, don't try not to do that.
Mayonnaise.
No?
Okay, well, that was the code word last time. All right,
So yes, and we need to make sure that it was done in compliance with the original requirements of the driveway,
Yep.
permit.
I brought that folder here, but I don't know if you wanna look at it.
I need to see what it looks like now.
Yeah,
You do,
yeah, we need to actually see it.
So, Youngfrau and Hotwell.
Yep.
Okay. Any other further on this? Should we move to the next one? Driveway modifications at 28 Burn.
yeah, this is another
Yes.
gentleman that,
We had an
Yes, we
appointment
got
to
a
see
letter.
them that they requested and then they canceled it on
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
And now where are we with this?
They
We
sent
saw
a
the
letter.
correspondence.
they did send a letter,
And do we need take any action on the letter?
other than they still wanna meet with us, the letter made it sound like they wanted to work with us, they were more conciliatory than the first time, and, we just have to meet with them when they're available.
And when is that?
I don't know.
They're gonna
I just-
ask
I
us
just
for
read the
another
letter.
date?
I just guess we have to follow up with them.
See, there's a trend with people to keep these dates moving and it turns into a year.
well, that's the point.
And then we hear stories of septic designers insisting that they modify the land before they do a design and that's our problem. This is crazy what people tell us. So, what do you wanna do with these people? Tell them another date that we can go and visit them at their house to see the violations they've done to our drainage system?
Or give
Yeah.
them some time to get back to us and,
Whose court is the ball in? Is it on our
they're
court?
putting it in our court, is
So,
what they're doing, pretty
what-
much.
Do you think you wanna pick a date that you wanna go and say we can meet with them?
Or dates.
Tie up your whole week.
I think we could
Yep.
send them, we got it by email, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so I think we could respond to the email saying that within
Yes,
10 days, 15 days, would like to see a drawing of the plan for bringing the driveway into compliance. And then we'll go look at it.
So this is just the driveway, not the drainage, the rocks in the drainage.
Right.
Wasn't that what we were originally meeting, and then we saw they modify the driveway while we were waiting to meet them with them about the other problem they
No,
created?
we covered both of them right in the
In
first,
the first one,
Yeah.
okay.
first letter.
So we'll cover both of them with this visit too.
Yes,
So you made a motion. I'm turning your statement into a motion.
okay.
Say it again then. She's making a motion now.
Motions
Make a
to-
motion,
to
make a
give-
motion that we send a response
Yeah,
to the owners of 28 Burn, to send us a drawing
you
of
want
their,
a drawing or a written description?
or
Drawing.
both,
Okay,
for their plan to bring the driveway into compliance.
With measurements in the drawing.
And the plan to remove the rocks in the ditch line.
I'll second that for discussion. Do we even know if they are 15 feet away from their property pin with the new driveway they built without a permit? We need to measure that too. And they should put it on their plan. Want to say something like the plan they draw should be according to our driveway ordinance?
Yes,
That covers the 15
That
feet
covers
from the
it.
property pin.
yep,
Any other discussion? All in favor?
aye.
All right.
3-0 on the correspondence. That take care of 28 for now?
Uh-huh.
We covered the master plan signature items?
okay, you have to hold on a moment.
Okay, sorry,
Who's second, Mark?
I did.
All right,
All set?
yeah,
At 10:41, we'll see if there's any signature items. Just the checks?
Just the checks.
manifest? 10:41 correspondence, covered that.
Yep.
At 10:41, we'll see if there's any public comments.
I have a couple quick things. First of all,
you wanna come up?
can I do it from here? I just wanna say thank you, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Just wanted to come to a meeting. Also it'd be
Can I
great,
ask her to identify
Oh,
yourself?
Paula.
Oh, Paula Doyle.
Thank you, Paula.
it would be great if you could put the meetings on the website. I don't know if there's an issue with that.
They are on the website.
Couldn't find them, but you know.
Nobody can find anything on the
You're talking
It'd be
website.
great if it was on the homepage, that's all.
It's
Possible.
not on the
The
homepage.
schedule, you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
that's all. That was quick.
Yeah,
request.
the website continues to be
Okay,
weird.
I'm sure.
I don't know how else to describe
I
it.
know, I'm sure. I know this when I dealt with it. So.
Yeah,
It hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
It needs to be professionally looked at and revamped.
Just a-
Right now, and it seems to do its own thing when it wants to do. I don't know if that's based on some back end things that are happening or,
Just comment.
you know,
And,
one time I look at it, seems to be fine, and then the next time I look at it after
Yeah.
updating and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah,
So,
I know.
yeah.
Anyway, and then my only question is, I saw something on Facebook, I thought it was last night, about beach parking and beach access, and then it was gone. I don't know where it was posted or who posted it. With a lot of comments that said you guys were proposing like a whole thing about paying $100 to, is that something you guys have discussed, or has that gone anywhere, that issue about beach access?
I think the way I would answer your question, no, we haven't had any discussions like that.
Mm-mm.
And
Okay.
I didn't see it anywhere on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Are you on another Facebook page?
I don't know which one it was to tell you. I went back to comment on it and I couldn't find it, so I don't know where I saw it. It was on one of the local pages or somebody's page, so
I started a Facebook page in 2012 called Fans.
Yeah,
It wasn't on there.
okay, I don't know where I saw it.
So there are other Facebook pages that I don't
Has
see.
that issue progressed at all about limiting beach access to residents? I just wondered if you guys have had time to look at that, or I just haven't seen any mention, heard any mention.
We haven't discussed
Okay.
that as a board. I don't know if we ever discussed it as a board.
Okay,
I think we did briefly, but we wanted it to be one of these citizen committees.
okay,
Uh,
okay. Well, I just would let you know, I'd be happy to work on that. I think we should.
What,
Every time I drive by another town's beach and there's a sign up saying beach access limited, you know, parking limited, I think there's a pretty simple solution that could be executed with some help from people in the public. I'd be happy to help with that.
what we did do recently was change the highway and parking ordinance, which means there will not be parking allowed on the roads.
Okay.
Any road, anywhere,
anywhere.
including the beach areas.
And that includes the beach areas.
except for Porridge
The
Shore.
one exception is Porridge Shore, heading towards the cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
because there is no parking lot there. But, so there won't be people parking on Geneva or Middle Shore or, Idlewice Drive, at those beaches. That's gonna be,
Okay.
So-
I just.
so
I'd be
that's the
happy to-
one thing we
I'd be
have
happy
changed.
to work on that, and I think
yes.
it's something we should do. I think all the other towns do it around their private beaches, and I think we could do it pretty inexpensively and pretty simply. We'd have to obviously change the ordinance, so that would, but I do think there's some solutions to that.
There
that
was
I
a
think we should
discussion-
talk about.
There was a discussion related to the assessments, where
Yeah, I saw that. It wasn't about these.
a woman said,
Yes,
it said
yes.
private beaches,
Yeah, yeah.
and I asked, where do you read private beaches? And
Right, no, it
then
wasn't
the
that-
husband came back and said, we're being assessed for waterfront access,
Right,
and then someone else asked, does this happen outside of Idlewice? And I said, and the answer is no, it happens, the assessors use it as a way of
sure.
equalizing why Idlewice properties are selling more. Comparable properties outside of Idlewice are selling for less than the same.
That's the
Now, this is about parking at
Oh, the
the
one that
beaches
was
in
in
Edelweiss. So I just drove by another one
that's
yesterday,
the
or Pocket, they limit their parking to people who live there in Cranmore Shores. They do it they do it everywhere. This is really common. You limit it to where the people live there. The police will enforce it. You could distribute a parking pass for every property. It's
So,
pretty simple.
Mark,
So-
I'm gonna paraphrase you, so you gotta pick up and explain, but Mark had an idea, I don't know, a year ago or something, was that if there's a hot button issue which
Right,
residents are concerned with, they can come together to form a committee
right,
in an informal way, so you don't have to take minutes and all that stuff. But when
Right.
you come to report to the commissioners, then it becomes officially on the record. So, if that's,
No,
no? Okay, that's why I need you to.
no, unless we appoint them and swear them in, they are not an official they're not a public body,
Right.
is what the phrase the law uses.
Okay,
If we formed a committee, swore them in as a committee, like we did with the Water Advisory Board,
Yep.
now you're a public body, and 91A and all the state laws apply to what you do. But if you form a group of people, and you have an interest in this, and you get together and you decide things, you can even write petition warrant articles, you can come as that body to meet with us, schedule appearance, and discuss whatever you want that the commissioners want to entertain. You are not a public body, and the state laws don't apply to you.
right, that's what I was trying to say, I never implied that we were gonna appoint them officially.
But then
But
you
it-
said, but when they come
Oh,
to a meeting, and that's where I said, no, that part isn't true. They can
Okay.
come to a meeting anytime they want, as a body,
right,
just not a public
or an
body.
individual can bring you.
Or an
a-
individual,
Or an individual,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it, thank you.
Now, I have opinions over the years, and I actually created a system that I had the previous chief of police approve, thumbs up.
Right,
He was behind it if the village wanted to do it, which was these custom Idlewice hanging tags that were numbered, and you had to have one on your mirror to park at our beaches.
right.
And that would be the limit that we could do. The state doesn't allow us to tell people they can't use the beach, you just
Exactly,
can't
yeah,
park.
Parking.
And,
So- And you could I think you could distribute one to every property owner, say with the water bills. It would be good for a couple of years maybe, and if people that don't have water, you could get those to those people, there's not that many. And I think, they would enforce it. The biggest issue is the signs at the beach, that lets people know, you have to start somewhere. And as I said, and for renters, they leave it in their house, and they put it in their agreement, with their rental agreements, and if the renters take it home by mistake, they don't get their deposits. There's ways to, it's not that hard.
Right.
Rental properties all over the world do this every day, and it's pretty.
It can be done.
It can be done really pretty quickly,
So-
so,
one more minute on that.
okay.
Years ago, David Rowe put a lot of effort in. He went around and talked to the towns and went to those beaches
Right,
and came with a proposal and wrote an out warrant article, got it on the warrant, and the commissioners at that time, Ralph Lutchen said, unenforceable, and they didn't do it. That kinda killed that for a long time. Then along come COVID,
Right,
and all of a sudden, people were coming
right.
out of the sky to the Edelweiss beaches. And there was a surge in interest in trying to get control over that, cause the residents couldn't go to the beaches, there was no place to park.
Wow.
And that caused, so then COVID blew by and the interest went down.
Right.
And now we just did something that says you can't park on the road. Well, now the parking lot's all filled, we're not controlling who's in the parking lot, but the excess people at the beach on the road should stop or go down as we try to enforce that with the chief, who's in favor of that. He's very much in favor of no cars on the roads.
Well, there's a lot, this is just anecdotal for me, a lot of extra fishermen in the last 2 or 3 years coming from local fishermen. And I don't, necessarily have a huge issue that you can't restrict their access, they can put their boat in. But, we don't have motor propellers, but a lot of them have electric propellers, things come on the bottom of their boat, and we don't have a boat monitor like they have at Silver Lake, where they check for algae and all that stuff. So, there's a lot of people fishing on the ponds
Wow.
right now that never were before.
How are they getting in there?
They use the boat launch, they come down to Edelweiss
they do.
Beach. I don't know about Big P, but I can just say on Middle P, every day there's a lot of these guys fishing and gals. So it's not.
And they're parking their cars in that little lot that goes in by Edelweiss Beach with it
I
ends in a
assume they're
circle?
launching their boats at Edelweiss Beach.
Yeah.
That's an assumption on my part, because I think that's the easiest access. And as I said, I don't think you can restrict that, but they still have to put their car somewhere.
Yeah.
And if they
And
don't have a
trailer.
sticker to park their car, and they can't park on the road,
That
and they
would,
can't fish there. So I'm just commenting, I worry about the pond itself, that's my number one concern. I don't think we have a capacity issue. I'm worried about usage of the ponds by more people and about the loons and the wildlife. I think that, and I don't think we're paying for the upkeep of these beaches. And I think we have the right to restrict the parking. That's what I believe as residents, taxpayers, we're paying for the upkeep of all this stuff.
I would say today, it's good to hear that you have that interest. Today, I can't say I can measure that at next year's annual meeting, there's enough interest to
Right.
do it.
Right.
But I would like to communicate on a regular basis with people that have similar interests and want to track this and other issues regarding the beaches,
Right,
like the sand and perch beaches, steps,
right.
and all of that.
Yeah. Right.
And in the lighting that I talked about, cutting all that stuff. So I would hope that you would participate if I had a focus group that stayed a non-public body and didn't have to take minutes
Sure.
and see what the temperature is
Yeah.
with the public at any given point.
I could probably get a couple more people. No
There was a
problem.
Facebook private group that's been kind of dormant, and I think it has 17 that were interested in everything to do with beaches. I'll have to get that going again.
Yeah.
yeah, I know who started that, so I can put you in contact with that individual.
O'Hare?
Yeah,
Yeah. Haven't heard from her in a long time.
I just saw her recently, so,
Huh? Good.
so,
So where are we in our agenda?
right.
All set with public comments?
Yes, thank you.
So if there's nothing else, I'll make a motion that we go into non-public session.
Second,
And we do a roll call vote. Nancy, how do you vote?
aye.
What, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I vote aye, so
Okay.
2-0 on roll call vote. Thank you, Carol.
You know what you can
Nice
do on
to
the
see you,
website?
Paula.
Oh, nice.